Good morning. My name is Louis Fox. I am President and CEO of CENIC, and I want to be the first to welcome you to our 2018 conference. I have the great pleasure of introducing Jeff Weekley, who is the Director of Research Computing and Cyber Infrastructure at UC Merced, and also had, prior to that, been here in Monterey at the Naval Postgraduate School. And Jeff has been leading a really wonderful group of volunteers who helped put together this conference. So, Jeff?
Thank you, Louis. Just get arranged here a little bit. So, first off, thank you to all of you. I'm very pleased with the turnout. Being here in the little town of Monterey, sometimes we were a little concerned that you might not find us, but it seems you have. The CENIC community brings together a really diverse group of people who might not ordinarily come together, but we find here that we have so much in common, and meeting here at this annual conference is always a highlight of my year. So it's been great to be program chair and, in a sense, conference chair. Those two roles have merged, and view how this event works from the inside and how it comes together in such a great way. There is a tremendous amount of effort and thought that goes into every detail. So I would like to thank all of the people who have volunteered to put this together. They have brought tremendous insight into the proceedings, and so I would like for, as I call you out, those groups to stand, and the rest of us please acknowledge them with a round of applause. So first of all, the speakers and moderators, would you please stand? So everybody who is still working on your slides, please stand. So it's their knowledge that really is contributing to this program. And then we couldn't do it without the wonderful CENIC staff. So if you're a member of CENIC and you're here to support the conference and to learn and to share, please stand up as well. Come on, CENIC people. Louis? Okay, so now down to the important stuff, the housekeeping. First of all, you'll notice that we didn't hand out printed programs this year. So everyone, please download the app that we're offering to help you organize your experience at the conference. Put that on your little brain. You can use the app to create your customized event schedule. We do have multiple tracks going on, and while we did our very best to organize those in a way that makes sense, you may find yourself skipping room to room, so the app will really help with that. It'll also help you follow event announcements, get in touch with other people, and even reach out on social media and see the social postings. It's called Attendee Hub by Crowd Campus, and you'll see the URL there on the screen. There are leaflets on the tables and at the front on how to get the app. So if the slide disappears before you get that done, either ask one of us or find one of the little leaflets on the table. So for social media, the hashtag for the event is hashtag CENIC 2018. So CENIC 2018. Use it on all your posts to see them in the social wall, in the mobile app, as well as the social media channel online. Now, we're going to do something a little bit differently this year. We have a spot set up downstairs for video testimonials, and that's our chance to hear from you about your experiences using the CENIC networks and programs to include the conference, and why are you part of this community? What makes the difference for you, and how has the CENIC network changed your work and helped you to do your work better? Drop by the video testimonial. It's downstairs. We kind of have a quiet spot. We'll put a little microphone on you, and it's your chance to be a star. I also want to thank the event sponsors, again, without whose help we would not be here. Their underwriting enables us to put a high-quality event that attracts excellent participation from a wide swath of speakers and attendees. So we have 3 titanium sponsors this year, and that's the highest level. First, AT&T, Cisco, and Juniper Networks. So please, let's give a round of applause for our titanium sponsors. And we have a crowded field for our gold sponsors, a lot of really great support for them. We have AMS.net, we have Arista, Aruba, CenturyLink, Comcast Business, Crown Castle Fiber, Encast, and Ruckus. So please thank our gold sponsors. Many of them will have booths set up in the foyer, and so stop by and say hello. I hope that the next 3 days are engaging and enlightening for everyone here. And in keeping with the title of the conference, that folks are able to make the right connection. And let me just add that, yes, we all operate on the network, but it is this network of people that's really the backbone of this community. Now I'm going to pass the mic to our co-chairs of the CENIC Board of Directors, Tom Andriola and Patrick Perry. Tom and Patrick, could you come up, please? Thank you, and have a great week.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Monterey. I'm very happy to be here. From what I understand, this is the largest CENIC conference turnout we have ever had. I think we have over 350 people, so congratulations on that. Wanted to give a welcome on behalf of the organization who advises and governs CENIC, the member institutions and systems of CENIC by its board of directors, University of California, California State University, California Community Colleges, CDE, California K-12 system, our independent universities, Stanford, Caltech, USC, and our newest member of the State Library System. If you are a member of the CENIC Board of Directors, please stand up and give a warm thank you to these folks.
In addition, Jeff mentioned earlier, the community is what's important, the connections of this community. And this community would not happen without the time and dedication of many, many groups of volunteers. And so we'd like to recognize a few groups that work tirelessly to make CENIC, the network, and this community go. If you are a member of the Digital California TAC, the High Performance Research TAC, or the Security and Privacy TAC, please stand up so the community can recognize you at this time. Come on, guys, stand up, stand up, stand up. These groups do a lot, volunteer work to get together and talk about important issues to the community, and we want to thank them very much for the time and effort that they put in to make CENIC what it is today.
So we have 3 great keynote speakers for this conference today. We're going to be leading off with somebody who, whereas others may make the claim that they invented the internet, we've got somebody here who actually has the street cred to say this. That would be internet pioneer and current VP and chief internet evangelist at Google, Dr. Vinton Cerf. After that, we have Dr. Ilke Altintas, the Chief Data Science Officer of the San Diego Supercomputer Center at UCSD, where she leads the strategic coordination of all computational data science activities. And then finally, Dr. Kiriti Kompella, Senior VP and Chief Technology Officer at the engineering team at one of our titanium sponsors, Juniper. That will be our second and third keynote speakers.
And over the course of the conference, you're going to have many plenary panels that you're going to be able to listen to, covering a variety of topics. The first one this morning will focus on the use of the Pacific Wave International Exchange in climate research. Small island nations face a variety of problems and threats associated with climate change, including sea level rise, freshwater availability, and the diverse challenges from tropical cyclone strikes. Also, these nations struggle with topics such as displaced populations, food insecurity, and vector-borne diseases. So the panel will come together and you'll hear from renowned experts on the needs of these communities, the vulnerabilities of small island nations, and how they face the increasing threats in today's world.
Today's afternoon plenary takes a look at wireless extensions of R&E networks in the context of preventing and fighting wildfires. Over the past 15 years, 3 research projects, WiFire, HP-REN, and Alert Tahoe, have developed digital technologies to reduce wildfire danger, including early detection and warning, situational awareness, predictive simulations, and first responder planning tools. Their pioneering results set the stage for wireless extensions from any CENIC-connected entity to provide wildfire threat reduction for the citizens of California. Wireless networks are also being used to connect communities in rural areas as well as tribal communities.
And tomorrow, the session will look at the Internet for All in California, a topic that I think is near and dear to many of us in this room. The major challenges confronting California today are how to ensure that communities and Californians have access to the reliable and affordable broadband technologies, particularly in our underserved communities. We talk a lot about the promise of big data, but if we can't deliver that data to the people around the state, especially into our remote areas, those promises go unrealized. So while we have the network to deliver unprecedented volumes of data to assist in education, healthcare, and other important needs, we do need to solve the last mile issue. You will have a set of panelists who will get up in front of the group and will address how their organizations are involved in bringing the internet to all, individually, collectively, so that it's not just a vision, but it's the reality for every Californian.
Our conference has a wide variety of content, and there are a few themes that are touched on throughout. First is the Pacific Research Platform. We have a series of sessions that are dedicated to topics on the PRP, how to develop a resilient campus cyber infrastructure ecosystem given all the challenges, how to track, measure, and analyze the traffic on your network, and how to integrate high-performance class systems and large instruments. These and other topics will be explored.
Security. This is a concern for all of us, whether we're in school, library, college, university, government, or private sector organizations. The new CENIC Security and Privacy Technical Advisory Committee is the largest TAC in our history, with over 80 participants from all of our charter associates.
One of the themes will also be wireless. Fixed wireless has become more important to CENIC's diverse communities, serving as first responders, as in the recent California wildfires, wireless arrays with telemetry and cameras like those we will hear about later this morning. As a part of many research efforts of the UC Agriculture and Natural Resources, Scripps Institution of Oceanography, Caltech, and the U.S. Geological Service, to name a few, and as a method of reaching our CENIC members who are in rural and remote regions of the state, regions that are without access to fiber optic communications technologies.
The theme of access and equity, a constant theme for CENIC. Just as much of a focus on the leading edge of network technology, so too do we talk about and work with all of our community to make sure that everyone has access to these technologies.
And finally, applications that are running on the CENIC network. One of the best parts of the CENIC conference is us sharing what are we putting on this network. From K-12 to libraries, universities use this network that we have all come together to create. This morning and tomorrow at lunch, we will recognize some of the innovators and pioneers who help us understand the many ways the applications that are built on the network further the work of education and research institutions with our innovation awards. So at this point, we'd like to turn it back over to CEO Louis Fox. And thank you very much. Have a great conference.
Enjoy the conference.
Patrick and Tom mentioned a number of our education and research participants, but I'd also like to note that we have participants here from science and performing arts centers, from private technology businesses, and from city, county, and state government throughout California. As CENIC connects California and California to our world, our conference brings together colleagues from around the globe all of whom are leaders and visionaries in research and education. I would like to welcome our colleagues from Korea, Fiji, the Philippines, Singapore, Denmark, Sweden, Holland, Kenya, and New Zealand, as well as our neighbors to the north and south, Canada and Mexico. A special welcome to representatives of sovereign nations from within our U.S. borders, the Navajo Nation, and to the Tribal Digital Village Network serving 13 sovereign nations in San Diego County alone. I would like to also welcome our regional networking partners, leaders from over a dozen states, and also leaders from our national networking partners, Internet2 and the Energy Sciences Network, ESNet. Lastly, I want to make sure that we welcome our network partners from the state of California. The California Emerging Technology Foundation, a key partner, and members of some of California's 16 broadband consortia, along with leaders from city, county, and state government networks. We're very gratified to have such participation from our national and international partners. We view our work supporting research and education, networking, and communities as an integral part of enabling us to participate seamlessly in an increasingly interdependent world, where the questions we engage in know no boundaries. In critical areas focused on the impacts of climate change and human health, which you'll hear about this afternoon, questions about the origins of the universe, another topic being addressed tomorrow, understanding our own histories and cultures and their expressions in architecture, art, and music, more topics on our rich agenda for the next 2.5 days. The work that this technology community does in support of California educators, researchers, clinicians is indeed interwoven with that of our U.S. colleagues into a global fabric. The work that we do as technologists, educators, and researchers is increasingly done across disciplinary, institutional, state, and national boundaries. And I'm glad that our political leaders in California are unwavering in their view of our interdependence with other states and our proximate and more distant international neighbors. A few points to emphasize California's interdependent role in the global community. With more than 95% of the world's population and 80% of the world's purchasing power outside the United States, future economic growth and jobs for California and America increasingly depend on expanding U.S. trade and investment opportunities in the global marketplace. The economy of California is the largest in the United States. If it were a country, California's $2.6 trillion economy would be the 6th biggest in the world, and it would rank as the 6th largest economy behind the rest of the United States, China, Japan, Germany, and the United Kingdom. International trade, including exports and imports, supports 4.7 million jobs in California, more than 1 in 5 jobs. These trade-related jobs grew 3.3 times faster than total employment over the past 10 years. And most of this growth are at medium and small companies, on farms and factories, and at the headquarters of California's larger, globally engaged firms. California exported $165 billion in goods and $114 billion in services in 2016, including computer and electronic parts, transportation equipment, machinery, chemicals, fruit and tree nuts, aerospace products and parts, and travel service. Of California's 75,000 exporters, 96% are small and medium-sized companies with fewer than 500 workers. Customers in 228 countries buy California-made goods and services, including billions of dollars in annual exports to top markets, topped by Mexico at $25 billion, Canada at $16 billion, and China at $14 billion. This community understands this interdependence, and most certainly our business colleagues in the room do as well. We are in the business of building networks, technological and human, and it is with great delight that I opened this conference, and we all have a chance to see the remarkable work of the CENIC community, a CENIC community that includes all of you. On behalf of the CENIC board and staff, I hope the next 2 days are engaging, inspiring, challenge you a bit, and lastly, and just as importantly, are filled with some fun and joy. So it's really a treat to be able to introduce